Wow. Thank you guys. May the force be with you.
And also,
Hello, friends and family. Thanks for taking the time to celebrate the special occasion of Dev and Mary's legal union as husband and wife. If the trajectory of the relationship is something like the beauty of this day, I think you guys are on the right direction. As an introduction, my name is Matt Hirsch, and I've known Dev for a very long time, and I'm proud to call you my brother. And Mary, whether you like it or not, at the end of this ceremony, I'm going to be honored to call you my sister. So I've known Dev for about 35 years now, and never once have I seen him intentionally do anything mean to anybody else. And I can certainly attest to his profound intelligence, his freaky physical capabilities sometimes. If you guys see him in sports, and I've seen telekinesis, folks. And, also something that I don't see much, and that's honor. I think it's kind of, a dying breed, and, Dev means what he says and does what he means, and so I'm proud to say you're one of the best human beings that I know. Mary, I've only known you for about 1 30-minute Zoom, and last night and a little bit this morning, and I was able to extract a few early perceptions, that I then corroborated with Dev. And, some of the adjectives that, I picked up on, at least in the short time, is, you're a force of stability. You seem extremely confident. You're so comfortable in your shoes, from what I can tell. And, caring, with the animals, it's just beautiful to watch. And, best of all, I think Dev, when I was talking about the other day, he calls you very wise. So that is a really great compliment coming from this guy. And we also discussed about how your wisdom results in great decision-making ability. You have great decisions to not get in trouble, and you make great decisions that if you're in trouble, to get out of it. So, I will say that Dev trusts you 150%, absolutely, completely. And I think that's one great ingredient, a recipe to a healthy, long-term, happy relationship. And perhaps the most other important aspect from my perspective, at least, is respect. And when I asked Dev the other day straight up, do you respect Mary? He, was loud in his response. It was a knee-jerk reaction. And he said, more than anyone he knows. And so then I tried to get a feel for this to make it personal and talk to Mary about, what are the reasons or the rationale behind this marriage? What are all these components coming together? And I got to admit, when I was talking to you, I kind of got this feeling that, you were so cool and calm and collected, and kind of were like, well, he's almost a sense of intrigue. I could sense the respect and the admiration, but there's almost like an intrigue there, and almost like a playful child or muse. And, it seems like you just took great, comfort and excitement and kind of watching to see what good trouble Dev can get into. And we actually already noted that you make wise decisions, to not get into trouble. But, Dev, you often fail at this sometimes. And this is a story relayed to me, but apparently Dev thought it was a great idea, being an amateur drone pilot, to fly the drone around inside the house. And I don't know what happened there, but within a short amount of time, apparently you flew it right into your face. And, for anybody that saw the pictures, and I think you texted me, he doesn't normally look for sympathy when he gets wounded. His face had some lacerations and was bleeding. And he was telling me this story recently with, happiness and, just contentness. And he said, I went to, Mary's office. You were working at home that day. And he said, I stood there in the doorway all bloody face dripping. And I said, a little help? And he said, the first thing that you did was burst out in laughter. and just sat there and laughed at him for a while. And while he's dripping blood. And then, you know, you went and attended his wounds. You know, and I really think that the ability to laugh at one another and kind of have a lighthearted but yet caring, you know, relationship is really mature, and it's characteristic of, you know, long-term happy and healthy relationships. You know, and so I started thinking, okay, you know, some of the words I said, you know, force of stability, you know, playfulness, and, you know, kind of a childlike inquisition, if you will. You know, I did some research online, and I looked for other couples that, or stories actually, or poems or something, you know, to fill in the time right here. And and I came up with some stories from Greek mythology, and it was the story in particular of the sovereign and the muse. And in this, and there's also the artist and the muse and the wonder in the muse, and they all have really characteristic counterbalances for the two people in the relationships. And in particular, to me, the sovereign and the muse one stood out. And so, as they write, in this quintessential relationship, the sovereign represents structure, order, stability, and the predictable rhythms of the kingdom, while the muse embodies beautiful chaos and represents raw creative energy. The sovereign and the muse, the sovereign and the muse are two halves of a creative whole. And perhaps Dev and Mary together form something better than their individual selves by combining aspects of the sovereign and the muse, thus creating a perfect balance. And when I was thinking about how to write this ditty or sermon or whatever it is, you know, I thought the central theme here is balance. You know, and, you know, this is something that's inherent in nature. It's written about in religions. You know, it's obvious to see. And, you know, without balance, you know, things do not last that long or kind of go into negative ways. So, you know, when I think about balance, you know, in the term of relationships, I mean, you know, maybe Paula Abdul said it most eloquently. You know, it ain't fiction. It's a natural fact. We come together because opposites attract. Now, cheesy as it is, it was kind of a cool video. And you know, and it's certainly cliche. But these things that are cliche, these things that are repeated again and again, are actually things that are real. You know, and I kind of get the feeling that you guys are really balanced, and this is a kind of a beautiful relationship. So, you know, being rooted in love, respect, and stability, you know, in the harmony of balance, you know, is really hard to find. Most people don't find it. You know, you guys are the 1%ers right now. And, you know, it's hard to find because, you know, it took you 30 years to actually find each other. But you did, and congratulations. And in some ways, this concept is highlighted by Mary's response to my direct question, why do you want to get married? And this was on Zoom, and it was like probably 15 minutes into knowing you, and you smiled at me with some kind of weird sinister confidence. And you looked at me and you're like, because it's time. And I like let that go. I wasn't going, I was like, I learned your whys later, but you know, and so I asked him the same question. And I said, you know, why do you want to get married? And he said, well, because he cannot think of any reason not to. And upon further reflection, when there's nothing stopping you, when you have no restrictions, then you will inherently move in the right direction. And I feel that's the kind of what culminated us here today. So then you proceeded to tell me for several reasons, like Mary, how you know it is time. So Mary and Dev, it's time. It's time to enter into the next phase of your lives, traversing hardships and happiness with your chosen partner or teammate that you know together is a winning combination. And from what I know, I think so too. So in my humble opinion, you know, you guys have chosen wisely. So at this time, I'd like to open it up to anybody in the crowd that might like to say a little anecdote about these folks or something embarrassing or loving, you know. Do we have any takers? Oh, one in the back. Please talk loud.
Because I was 0.
I'm just going to share a couple of stories that his wrote and arriving at this moment. Sorry, Deb. In advance. One of them is, many of you know, he is so creative, so inventive. He put this together today. Like, he put this tent together, he planned everything, he built the movie table, he made the designs, he did those posters, he made the welcome signs. I think he got the inside joke. And he was always this person. When he was, I remember just growing up in Erie. Erie's cold, just like Minneapolis. He often had, the heat on. And Deb knows what story this is. Deb was so inventive. Sometimes he was just like, I just want to eat hot dogs, even in the summer. When we're not, there is the barbecue or whatever. Sometimes we'd have Oscar Mayer hot dogs in the fridge. And every so often, be like, it smells like hot dogs. And then little Deb would run up to the heaters and pull out a hot dog. And put them in the heaters around the house. And not just hot dogs, he would also take bread and put them in the heaters and have hot dog on fire. Again, evidence that this is a creative person who also shares creativity. He also was the kid in the neighborhood, also a smuggler. Many of you know our parents are immigrants or from the Philippines. They actually brought friends or they met along native community of their and there were often parents who were really, they were still learning English. They might have been English. And Deb was their best friend. This was like a little kid, Dr. Mitra.
That's right.
He would be like, chef. His name was Dr. Mitra. But he would say it, but even if you're Michelle. And would always be the most welcoming person as a toddler. He's so outside the community here. And then, as we all know, like, he's always been my mom. We've been through so much together, good and bad, and he's always been my mom, but he's our mom. And I've never seen him happier, not ever in his work, than after he met Mary and made this mutual decision to create life together. And I'm so happy for him. It's just the beginning, and I have the honor of having Deb as a brother. I now have the honor of having you as a sister, and we all have them as brother and sister. I think that's really clear from what happens today. So, anyway, love you both so much.
Thank you, Rena.
Anybody else? That's a few words.
Yeah, you know it's serious when Deb moves to the suburbs. I was like, Burnsville? I grew up in Burnsville. So it's like interesting. I was like, this must be a thing. He's like, oh no, we're just friends. I was like, funny. And then secondarily, when Mary's like, oh, you guys can have band practice here. We're all like, she's pretty great. Prior to that, she'd been to a bunch of our shows and kind of just was always there, kind of being the biggest supporter. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
So congrats to you too.
Yeah. Anybody else? Go. Yes, please.
So I've only known Deb and Mary for about a year, and in that year, I've never met two people more perfect for each other and more welcoming to like anybody they could ever meet. Mary, you just have this warmth about you, and I do get what people say with like the solid, like it feels like you're someone that you can rely on and trust, and yet you're so interesting and so funny and so warm, and it's just like so it's so compatible with Deb, who is just so again inventive and creative, and like you guys are so funny together, and it's like even in this place we're in right now, it just feels like warm and family, and we just bring community together, and I feel like with you saying like you can have band practice here. You say come meet my band, come meet everybody, and I just think that you guys are gonna be perfect. And I'm so excited to be here for you and see this happen today. And you guys are awesome.
Anyone else? All right, we'll move on then to the declaration of intent. Mary, Dev, would you join hands and face each other? And Dev, repeat after me. I choose you, Mary,
I choose you, Mary,
to be my lawful wedded wife,
to be my lawful wedded wife,
to respect, love, and grow old with in playful harmony.
to respect, love, and with whom to grow old in playful harmony,
And to unconditionally support through times of trouble, sickness, and loss.
and to unconditionally support in times of trouble, sickness, and loss.
And Mary, it's your turn. I choose you, Dev,
I choose you, Dev,
to be my lawful wedded husband,
to be my lawful wedded husband,
to respect, love, and grow old with
to respect, love, and grow old with
in playful harmony.
in playful harmony,
And to unconditionally support
and
through
to unconditionally support
and through times of trouble, sickness, and loss.
through times of trouble, sickness, and loss.
All right, so you guys may have wanted to say a few things yourself, and this is the time to do it.
You wanna go first?
I'll go first. I just want to say that he is my perfect man. And he actually posted that at least briefly on LinkedIn on the
Yeah,
day.
that was my title on LinkedIn. Was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's true.
I when we were talking about this, like exchanging vows, I was like, I'm just going to say the same things that I say every day, which is that I've never felt so supported or loved or understood, and I'm grateful for every moment that we get together.
Excellent. All right, so now it's time for the ring exchange. You guys have the rings?
Oh no, actually, I think you still do. Yeah. You got him, buddy?
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, good work, bud. Good work.
Some velvet.
All right, you guys can release, and the ring, is kind of a symbol of perfection, the perfect circle. When you guys wear these on your arm, in your hands, fingers, wherever you may want to wear them, I want you to kind of look at them as a sign of perfection. And as you go through your relationship, try to keep striving towards perfection to make the other person happy and more comfortable, and never just kind of get complacent in this journey that you're going through. So I think this one is theirs. So Dev, please place the ring on Mary's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love,
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love.
our synergistic strength.
Our synergistic strength.
Synergistic, come on. And my promise to learn and grow with you.
And I promise to learn.
It's your turn. Repeat after me. Place it on his finger. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
our synergistic strength.
our synergistic strength,
Well done. And my promise to learn and grow with you.
and my promise to learn and grow with you.
So, friends and family, by the authority vested in me. Oh, yeah, we got it. Look, we worked through the first teamwork, huh? Synergy.
We'll edit that.
So, folks, by the power vested in me by the state of Minnesota, I now pronounce Mary and Dev wife and husband. You may kiss the bride.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, yeah, we did it. We did it. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna have a couple musical performances. Lisa, I would like to invite you to come up first. While Lisa's getting ready, this is a song that she just kind of sent me a rough cut of one day, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna ask her to play this if we ever actually get married. Let's give them a moment to get set up and yeah. All right, let's see. Either of, like that board right there will win. The mic should be out.
Okay.
Oh, Professor Trouble. Maybe that's a chip-in spot. Yeah, give me a couple strums. If you could.
You got a pick?
No, I don't. I'm not a big pick. I got one. Who's got a pick? Yes! I was gonna say someone's gonna have a pick in this house.
Ready, guys? I dip my fingers into too many pies. I feel myself as thin as was in 1999. What I realized is you save me every time when I fall. You get me up and I'm flying. Well, you're there for me when I fell for this. You bring a quiver of life to every darkness. All this time I could not see you right in front of me. Take out a movie scene right in front of me. Searching my whole life, didn't think I'd ever find it. Now I finally feel complete. 'Cause you're right in front of me, right in front of me. You know I feel that to be loved is to be known. You don't get tired of me when I show you every picture on my phone. You just hug me when I make stupid mistakes, and when I mess up my words, you always let me explain every alphabet. Alleviated. Terminating love and endless patience. All this time I could not see you right in front of me, right in front of me.
Lisa? Yes, you're good. Now we're gonna ask Mark to come up and play one of his songs. Moss, you want to play with them? You want to like sit in with them on this track? You think? Yeah. It ends on a 3. He'll retard and it'll end on a 3.
Yeah, just keep
Perfect. You might actually. Yeah, I don't know what you just did.
Stepped on the green one.
All right. There you go. One step. There you go. Good go. Yeah, we can probably get some more bass.
This one's very.
You guys want to jam for a sec? You want more bass? Yeah, better? Yeah, Mark's a lot taller than us.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Snow receives, promise of a summer breaks the sun. Birds return, certain that the love will do. My heart longs for that summer love, but I wait. But I wait, I wait, I wait. Silhouettes of your love got me. I still feel the fire. It was me long ago, but I wait. But I wait, I wait, I wait. Others on, watch as the earth is renewed. You forget everything only you. Breathing your warmth in. But I wait.
So we're gonna do one more song with the band here. We're gonna set this up because this is Mary's favorite song from the band. And when I asked her, like, what's your favorite song? I was really surprised that she said this one. And it's maybe because it's one of the older ones, but it's called Belonging, and it's about, when you have that. Generally, it's about that sense of belonging you have with your pets. But I realized later that it's really about the sense of belonging that I first had when I moved in here. So it's kind of the perfect one for you to bring up here. Look at John. John looks good today, right? He wasn't wearing that jacket earlier. He looked like a bum. We put that thing on. Great. Thank you, everyone. I want to ask you folks if you can do me a favor before we set up the screen and watch Star Wars and eat pizza and stuff. I would like us to maybe gather kind of right over there outside of the tent, and I want to take a drone selfie of all of us before we break out the food and the drinks. Does that work? We'll see if it works. This is kind of windy. The wind is kind of sketchy, but we'll make it happen.
Someone protect his head. Protect his face.
Exactly.
don't hurt
I swear
yourself.
it'll work out better this time.